Morning, guys. We are coming up now on Facebook Live. This is our Friday morning Facebook Live show. We still don't have a name yet.
I really like Real Talk. I was going to hashtag it. I got really busy this morning, and I was going to be like, join us, real estate, hashtag Real Talk.
That is a good one. Real Talk?
I didn't, so yeah.
Someone said the revolving table. I like revolving chair because we'll have different people in these chairs every week.
That's cute.
Zach, what about you? You like Real Talk?
Sorry.
I like Beard Talk.
Beard Talk. That's a whole nother show.
That's really specific for not me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It
doesn't mean I'm not partial to it.
The beard with special guest everybody else. So, hey, if you are joining us this morning, let us know that you can hear us, you can see us, and also feel free to participate in the show. We'll take your comments. Give us those thumbs up and those little hearty things.
Okay, I'm sharing.
Are you sharing? Please share. I'm going to go and do that right now.
Me too.
My phone is blowing up. Whoever you are calling to sell me hassle-free home warranties or anything, please stop calling me. I'm good to go. We're going to share this out and then we'll get started with the show today. Do me a favor, if you are tuning in, share it out. Let folks know. I'm such a savant when it comes to Facebook. How do you share? There we are, right?
No, you'll come up. You'll hear your audio. That's what I did at first.
All right, so what I want to do is what? Just share it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right there?
Yep.
All right, we are clicking share.
Okay.
I'm going to type in something. Join us now.
Look at what Zach got us.
How cool is that? Zach is the king of swag. He came in with Revolved Realty. These are Yetis too. These aren't the knockoffs. These aren't the
these are real
the
nice.
Yetos or whatever they are. These are the real thing. These are like $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
And Zach's giving them away. Zach also has the Bearded Realtor new T-shirt swag there.
Yeah.
We're gonna give one of those away today.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
We got to think of whoever. What's our contest today? Whoever manages to
is
stay
actually
away.
on the show.
Yeah, just drop a comment in there and just say, "Hey, I want a shirt."
Anna McKinney just joined. Hey, Hub.
Wow.
I got a shirt for Woodrow,
How are
no
ya?
doubt.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Woodrow.
So if you would like to win a Bearded Realtor T-shirt, drop a comment in, just say hi, and we will do a random drawing of the millions of people who participate after the show. So, hey, this week we are without Sarah Parvin. Sarah actually had a business thing this morning, so we will try to get along without her. Chelsea, of course, will take over the hair playing duties that both of them do on the video. Hey, you guys want to talk about stats before we do anything else? Talk about what's going on in the market?
Let's.
The Huntsville Board of Realtors came out with their stats this week, home sales for the month of July. And I did a video on this, but we will review. Looks like 753 homes sold last month. That's an average of what, 25 a day?
That's a lot. I'm sure you've done the calculations. I'm not able to do that at this time.
Yeah, it's,
a day, but
it's about 25-ish a day, which is a good number of homes.
I've got the stats for the total Valley MLS system, so it's multiple boards in multiple areas, but it's a snapshot more of the entire North Alabama market.
Well, we had 753 in Madison County. What was it encompassing?
1374 across the Valley MLS this month. The inventory's down over 1,000 homes versus this time last year, and the average price is at 209 with the median at 104. So
I think one of the interesting things there is in all of North Alabama, it was like almost 1,400. Over half of those came out of Madison County.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you look at the Madison County stats being 241 on the average and 218 on the median, that's a $30,000 difference there on the median sales price. So clearly, Madison County is a hot market that's leading North Alabama. 43 days average on the market in Madison County, but in North Alabama as a whole, 60 is the average. So you're 2 weeks less on average days on market and 30,000 more in median sales price. If anybody's got questions about whether the market's slowing down, I'd say it's certainly not in Madison County.
Right.
And in Limestone, North Alabama as a whole, it's significantly better than it was this time last year. So,
well, I think one of the interesting things is the lines are blurring so much now. Madison, Limestone,
Yeah.
there's a county line there, but basically it's just the name of the road now because you've got we've got houses that are over the line that have a Madison address, and then there's some north of here that have a limestone address. But that's pretty good. 753. They didn't put the number from last month on there, but I do think that's down a little bit, but not much. But the inventory is still strong. 1729. This is Madison County. This time last year there were 23 houses for sale. This time this year's 1,700.
2,300.
Well, 23
houses.
I round up 2,300 houses. But the point is, there is less inventory on the market now than there was this time a year ago, and the market was hot then. But now it really is a seller's market.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, and I got a question last night. Should we wait till next summer to sell our house? And it's like, I don't understand. I mean, the conventional thinking that we've been told from the real estate industry forever is sell it in the summer. When people are moving, that's the only time you're going to get the maximum value for your house. And the reality is, with the thousands and thousands of jobs that are coming to Limestone County, Madison County in the next 5 years, I don't think we're going to see that. Certainly, you're going to sell more houses in the summer when people are relocating.
Sure.
That's
just makes sense.
Common sense. But I don't think there is a bad time currently to sell your house. And so,
I agree. I think it gets a little sketchy in November and December just because of the holidays. But until then,
I think that's going to be our second hottest time because people that are relocating are going to do it at semester break for their children. And so that would be the only time throughout the year that if I, as a parent, that I would want to relocate my family would be when my son can make a clean break and go to a new school at semester break. So I mean, I could be wrong. I have been once. It was a Wednesday, but
actually it was a Tuesday.
It was fully documented too in his mind.
But I don't know. It's a great time to be in this market. It's a great time to be a homeowner. It's a great time to sell, buy, whatever it is that you're looking to do. Now's the time to do it because on the other side of the selling conversation, the average sales price is doing nothing but going up. So if you're thinking about buying a house, every day you wait, you're paying more for the same house.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's no reason to sit back and, I'll wait till then. The market's going to slow down. No, statistics never lie.
Yeah.
Numbers are always accurate.
Yeah.
And they're telling us that every day we wait, we're going to spend more for the same house.
Yeah. And houses are moving very quickly. Most houses, many houses, some houses.
And just to clarify, that's 43 average days on the market. So if your house has been on the market for 12 days, it's not, you're okay.
Yeah. And really you got to remember 43 is an average.
Right.
There's some, and we all know this, there's some that we've sold houses in a day.
In hours,
and there are
right,
some houses still in the system, and not ours of course, but others that have been on the market for a year or more.
Yeah.
And so it really does come down to, number one, I think it's timing. The right person has to walk in at the right time and want that house. Otherwise it just kind of sits out there. And of course we can market and do everything we do to attract attention to the house, but that is an average.
Marketing won't do anything if the house isn't priced correctly.
Right.
And if it is so incredibly outdated that whatever buyer is going to have to come in and spend $100,000 to get it good, that really affects average days on market.
Let's talk about that because I've got clients in that boat where they've got a house that they've lived in for, a number of years. Let's say even 5 or 10 years, a house can be dated, But what do you advise these folks? Do you advise that they put the money and time into the house to bring it up to top of the market? Or do you recommend that they make an adjustment because it does need some work, so they're going to ratchet the price? Oh my gosh, I'm hearing my own voice in my head.
I think if they are capable of making those changes, to go ahead and do it. At least get the gold out of your house.
I thought gold was coming back.
No, not that kind of gold. Gold hinges and doorknobs and cabinet hinges and cabinet pulls and light fixtures. And if your house is the same shade of builder grade, like flesh tone, paint it gray. If you're capable, if you have the time and the resources to do it, I would do it. Otherwise, you have to adjust the price because somebody else is going to be looking at,
right.
Oh, well, I got to spend $10,000 on paint and I have to spend another $10,000 just to get the gold out of the house. So I'm going to lowball you $20,000.
But you have to be cautious because and I've seen this happen recently in 2 occasions with clients that I've been working with, where when they started that process, they didn't take into account where that sweet spot was, right? There's a significant amount of research that you need to do, or that your real estate agent should be able to do for you, that could help you determine in your neighborhood, where is that? I mean, is it granite countertop, subway tile, the whole nine, or do you out renovate the neighborhood and now you have to get more for your house than what it's worth to make the renovation worth it? So there's a difference in renovating and updating.
Yeah.
And that's a significant line that people need to be educated about, because just because you see it on HGTV, it doesn't make it that easy. Now, we happen to have an HGTV star amongst us that would be more than happy to sit down with you and help you on the design choices and what's smart and what you need to do. And we have a team of really smart agents who have investment backgrounds, who understand how to look at that side of the market and say, here's the amount of money you need to spend on your update/renovation to capitalize the most out of that investment. And that's, I see that too often, and it's really upsetting, because you've got a beautiful house that you'd love to be able to sell, but you just can't get what the owner needs out of the house to make it worth their time, and now they got to live in it for another.
Well, I think the owner has to make the decision, and I have houses like this now. The conversation was, look, you can put X number of dollars in it, bringing it up to what, the HGTV look that everybody's going for now, but it's not like a long-term investment. The ROI on that money you're spending to renovate the house really isn't there, because you are just putting the money in to get it to a certain point. So is it wise, let's say your house needs $20,000 in upgrades, all right, just to get it to where you want to be at the top of the market, okay? If you put that 20 grand in just to get you to the top of the market, you're not really getting ROI on that 20 grand. You are just putting that 20 grand in there. It's more of a sales move than anything, because people will then come in and say, okay, the house looks nice, rather than, oh, this needs paint. Does that make sense? So I think the owner has to look at it from a non-ROI point of view, because it's not a long-term play.
Sure.
It is just hey, I'm going to go ahead and paint, or I'm going to go ahead and do flooring because that's what's going to be expected, and I'm going to come out equal, but it's not like putting 20 grand in a kitchen and raising the price 25.
Well, and a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their mind around that, because it's a cash flow thing, right? I've got to invest cash to get it right. I'm not going to make anything on it, and so where's the benefit in that? And the reality is that, if you haven't noticed, there are builders in North Alabama that are going as fast as they can go. So new construction is going to continually be available. Right. And so if I'm looking at buying a house, and I'm not a fixer-upper type, I don't want to come in and make it mine, or I want to make it mine and brand new, right? I mean, you just have to put your house in a market situation where it is competitive, because people can go just up the road and get a brand new house for just a few dollars more per square foot than what they're going to buy yours for, and they probably don't want to buy that $70 square foot house that they're going to have to put $25,000 into. Right. And so that's the play, that's the decision where it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it. If you can do it, it's worth it. But you have to wrap your mind around that. And I love what you said. It's not an ROI. It's a market positioning move. You just want to put your house in a situation where it can be sold.
Yeah. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking away the negatives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If you've got the money and you can spend 20 grand to upgrade the kitchen, knowing that it's going to help the house sell that much faster, that's the play. But a lot of folks don't have that money. Yeah. They don't want to go get a HELOC or put the money in. They're just like, look, I'm going to knock the price off 20 grand and let the new owner do it. But then again, that segments the market, because not every new owner wants to come in and do the work.
Well, and a lot of sellers will not say, I'm going to drop the price $20,000. They'll say, how about like a $2,500 price drop? Realistically,
I'll do a $500 concession for flooring.
Yeah, it's crazy on a 4,000 square foot house. That'll get you to,
that'll get you 3 squares. Yeah, exactly. Just a shameless plug here. Shout out to Bailey Walker, who just joined us. That was my first ever client, and she recently got engaged. So congratulations to her and Zach.
Wow.
We're excited, and thank you for
trusting. Did you say Walker was the last name?
Yeah, her name. So it's a funny story. My sister's name is Bailey Walker, and so I had just gotten my license and started Revolved Real Estate, and I got an email from a lead source that I had that I was using at the time, and it was Bailey Walker. And I was like, my sister is messing with me.
Yeah.
Like, my sister is just trying, like, she's
Right.
poking around or whatever, and I paid it no attention. And another one came in, and I was like, that's a different area code.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Kentucky area code. What is? So I reached out, and I'm talking about,
It wasn't her.
it wasn't her, and I felt really stupid because it took me a week to make that call because I thought it was my sister.
Yeah.
But we were able to help her buy her first home, and she is all moved in, got a beautiful house, and now is engaged. And so,
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congrats,
It
Bailey.
looks like we have a big audience of 11.
We
I think
are.
3 of them are here, but hey, if you are joining us now, just drop us a comment, say hi, show them the t-shirt. Zach is giving away a bearded realtor. That's more of a baseball shirt. Is that true?
Yeah,
Is it the
it's
design?
yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks like a t-shirt.
And so far, Bailey Walker, you are the only one entered into the contest to win this
Because she put
t-shirt
an emoji.
because you made a comment.
Amy Patterson, our new agent, who's here in studio watching.
Did you make a
the
comment?
Did you make a comment?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so Amy just joined Facebook yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody say hello to Amy.
Yeah. If you know of a good Facebook tutorial, you need to send it to
I'm
Amy.
sure we can find something on
Exactly.
YouTube.
I want to get back to this the market update that we were talking about. I think it's really interesting that the median price of houses in Madison County has gone up. I don't remember the exact number, but I know I did a market update like a month or two ago, and the median price was like around 185. And so now it's right around what, 218? What is it, North Alabama wide?
184.
Okay, so it's still kind of, and I think that's just simply because of the neighborhoods in
Sure.
Madison, which, by the way, are starting to branch out into the counties. Though, if you look at over in Limestone County, you've got neighborhoods going up with $400,000 or $500,000 homes, which is good for us and
Yeah.
folks that can afford those. That's another thing. I don't know if you look at if you go to the Board of Realtors website and you click on this report, it actually brings up a list of houses for sale within certain price ranges. And so that's where the average and the median comes. But we've got houses in this market. There are something like 100 houses that are on more than $2 million.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, right? There's,
So crazy.
You would think that here in North Alabama, even though we have the arsenal and the engineers and all that sort of thing, you wouldn't have houses of that caliber. But yeah, if you go look at that, there are probably, I don't know, 25 or 30 houses in this market over $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. So it's a very affluent market. And even if you are on the lower end of the scale, Madison County still is a great place to live.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Madison, Madison's the school systems. That's
Madison
why,
itself,
they've
Madison
got,
City,
yeah,
yeah.
Madison City is, and that's why the inventory is. That's why it's almost impossible to get what you want in Madison City for what you want to pay for it because the school systems are so incredible.
Yeah.
But it's just a good time. I mean, we are experiencing what a lot of places have experienced, in the past 10 years, and we're getting it for the first time. And so there's a lot of uncertainty, maybe is the word. There's a lot of things that have to catch up. Part of the process that it's got to catch up. Technology's got to catch up because it's available throughout the country, but down here in good old Bible Belt, deep Southern country, it's just not. It's not, and that's okay. But we're as that grows, it's going to make the process significantly better, easier, and it's going to make the home buying and home selling process a better process for the client.
Right.
And that's ultimately our goal.
And I think that's one of the reasons why this market is not slowing down.
Agreed.
And we talked about this last week out on the left coast. They are talking about the market slowing down and the beginning of the recession. I don't think we're going to see that here. If we do, it's going to be a while down the road. But with everything that's going on, with Toyota, the FBI coming to town, Google, Facebook, all of those, there's a lot of farmland around here that's being bought up to subdivide.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
At a significant price point.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It's not. You know what? I grew up here in Madison City. When I was a teenager here, we had 4,000 or 5,000 people tops, and now there are probably 5,000 people within a quarter of a mile of here. But back then, you could buy land out here all day long for nothing. I mean, there was literally Madison was just cotton fields. That was it. And now you've got land going for, Christ, $1 million an acre. It's great, and people are paying it.
in Limestone County, you know, we were looking at some land to potentially build on. It's kind of my dream is to be out on 40, 50 acres in the middle of nowhere. But you know, that the price was $3,000 to $5,000 an acre. Those same pieces of property are now listed at $10,000 to $12,000 an acre. If you're in Athens City, mid-20s. You know, if you're in Madison City, 55. You know, it's crazy. And a word on that, like, if you have land and you're thinking about selling it, just because you have a piece of dirt doesn't make it worth $25,000 an acre.
It's still a piece of dirt.
There's location you have to consider. There's the soil type, the elevation of it. I mean, I've dealt with a floodplain in the last week, and the whole process of the Army Corps of Engineers won't allow you to move any dirt. And so if you're going to buy this, you literally, it's a designated wetland. So
right.
what are you going to do with it? There's going to be some, you know, 3-striped salamander that's going to stop you from doing anything with that property. And so it's a great time, if you have land and you want to get rid of it, to consider those options. But before you just call your favorite realtor and say, hey, I want $20,000 an acre. Well, I want $5 million for nothing, but it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be something that gives it that value. And so I'm seeing a lot of that, these lands.
So you're really seeing you're
up.
seeing a lot of sellers of land who have unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, they see a boom and they're like, oh, well,
my land must be
yeah,
worth
my
something
land's
to
worth
Toyota.
it too. My land 20 miles from the Toyota Mazda plant should get the same price point that they got, even though it's in the middle of nowhere.
But you know that's rippling out because there's land in Tanner. There's nothing in Tanner. There's nothing in Tanner except for Zach Walker. But going for $25,000, $30,000 an acre. And it's just, and you know, a lot of this land is owned by the families who have been here forever and ever, and they don't really have to sell it, so they will put a price on it. But at some point, someone will come along and buy that land.
I almost think that for the average person, the time to buy land in this market has passed. I mean, unless you have super deep pockets or you're a builder and you can
like
just...
Zach.
Easy.
Yeah, Zach. buy everybody some land.
Buy some land, Zach. We're going to give away an acre later on the show.
Yes. Unless you're out, you know, you can get a little bit more rural and still find what you want. But as far as like finding the quote-unquote estate lot, the 3 to 5 acres that you want to build an estate home on, that, I mean, I looked at it. I saw one the other day. It wasn't a listed property, but I was looking for a client of mine, and it was $85,000 in the city of Madison for 7.75 acres.
Really?
And the thing about it is, like, it was a legitimate contender. Like, that's the crazy thing, is like, it was a legitimate contender. And yes, Emin, I've got a shirt. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a shirt with your name on it, big dog. I just want to meet Woodrow. He's a celebrity.
Zach is obsessed
I am
with
obsessed
my husband's
with
dog.
He's the greatest blood tracking dog in the history of blood.
My husband has like the
legendary.
#1 dog in the state, and he's real proud of it. And Zach loves it.
As he should be.
Well, it's the #1 dog in the state for deer tracking.
Yeah,
I mean, this dog,
more than
people
just the
actually pay Ammon, Chelsea's husband, to bring out Woodrow, the dog, because this dog can track a deer for miles.
Yeah, he's certified and been tested. And
When I told my dad about meeting with you guys, when we first talked about this opportunity to become, I told him that Ammon was Chelsea's husband, and he was like, "You got to make that happen."
Oh my gosh.
Woodrow has his own fan club.
My dad loves it. He met Ammon and Woodrow at some tracking seminar hours and hours away.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to give you a dog.
Yeah.
All right, well, shameless plug for my husband. If you're a deer hunter and you lose a deer, Woodrow has his own Instagram, and it's Woodrow.
It is fantastic.
Woodrow's Deers with an S on Instagram, and Southern Deer Tracking on Facebook. So
The best part of the story is when they first got Woodrow, the way that Ammon trained him was, and they live in a really nice neighborhood, Ammon hung a deer from a tree and made Woodrow.
That's my kind of guy. That is my kind of guy. I love
it was
that.
great.
The neighbors,
great.
I'm sure that
backyard.
went over well.
The neighbors
We have a tall fence. We have a high privacy fence.
still.
Thank goodness.
So, but hey, if you do want to be in the running to win a Bearded Realtor t-shirt, drop us a comment and just let us know you're watching. A lot of things happening here. Our sponsor this week is Bryant Bank. Elliott Farmer brought chicken minis from Chick-fil-A.
They're so good.
That's it. We're really very cheap. If you show up with a tray of chicken minis, you can be our sponsor of the week.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
You get bonus points if you bring Diet Coke.
You get
or a Coke
bonus
Zero.
points for Chelsea or a Coke Zero. So
Coke Zero for now.
anyway, I think the bottom line of this is the market is still very hot. It is still a seller's market, which I think causes some unreal expectations for a lot of agents and sellers. I mean, I know I have clients who, you put their house in the MLS in the morning and they're called in the afternoon wanting to know how many offers.
How many
you got.
showings did we get today?
Yeah, and
None.
And that's what I try to tell people in every listing appointment. Like that's my biggest that's my biggest time to teach. Right, my job is not to sell your house. Believe it or not, your house will sell itself. Your house, if it's priced right, will sell itself.
Right.
My job is to manage your expectations because if I don't do that, you're not going to enjoy this process. And while selling a house isn't always the most enjoyable process, it can be very easy.
Right.
We just have to make sure your expectations are where they're supposed to be. That's the key, because if you see all this stuff about I sold a house in 2 seconds for I got 27 offers in less than 24 hours, and like that's not
the agent. It's the house.
First of all, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not the agent.
I just want everybody. I want to clarify that for everyone.
What?
If your house sells in 2.2 seconds, it is your house.
Look,
it's not the
No,
agent.
see, I think it's me.
A trained monkey could sell a house in the right neighborhood
Okay,
at the right price.
we gotta go, folks. That ends this show.
What? We are still necessary. But
Absolutely.
How are we necessary?
we get your house out there so people can see it. But
We
your
can
house
help
is
the
going to
process,
sell it.
no question. The real estate agent, the methods used by
the house
agent.
has to be marketed, or people will not know it's there.
Correct.
Or guys, what you're talking about is every house is listed in the MLS, and there are 3,200 agents in Madison County alone who will go in there and see that house and find somebody that they. But still,
but again, it goes back to the technology.
If you build it, they will come, kind of thing.
But
If it's a great house at a great price, and you put it in the MLS and you expose it to 3,200 agents,
It'll sell.
it'll sell.
Yeah.
Well, and the other piece of that is again, because of technology, the minute it goes in the MLS, it's immediately syndicated across Zillow, Realtor.com, Troy, all that.
Our website,
and that's where 87% of people found their home last year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a staggering number to me, and that's a number that's driving real estate trends, because the reality is I get text message from my clients with an MLS number.
Yep.
Because they're looking on their lunch break, they're looking at their computer, and they'll see something. If I'm not on the computer right then searching, they'll see something before I see it. Or maybe in our, in the way the MLS works, our search parameters can kick one or two houses that might fit there, and they'll find it and they'll send it to me. So it's yes, 3,200 agents in the MLS finding those. That's great. But the reality is, if I get it on Zillow and it's priced right and it's in the right neighborhood and it looks right, it's going to sell as quickly as somebody sees it.
Yeah.
And so it just, I don't know, it's expectations.
We are still necessary.
Very much so.
We're very necessary.
I have a couple of brand new agents over there who we're going to do a mind wipe as soon as this is over, so you'll listen to what I say. But I know what you're saying. A great house at the right price will always sell. The other 99% are the ones that really need our help, marketing, showing. If it really was that easy, we wouldn't be irrelevant, but we would just be order takers, which would be a great thing for me. But you're right. I bought a house, the Monrovia house, on the internet.
Yeah.
And this was way before Zillow. This was, I don't remember what I saw it on. I was house hunting. I saw the pictures. I actually went and found it and drove by. And then I got a realtor to come in and write the contract for me. So,
well, and having that real estate professional that's held to a standard, that's trained, that knows that is. I mean, I believe it's instrumental. But what I'm saying is just as far as people seeing and finding the house, that is a lot easier now.
Sure.
I mean, we've got a house that we've got listed over in East Limestone. Beautiful house, beautiful subdivision, but they did an addition, which adds tremendous value to the home. But it's in a neighborhood that doesn't have that big of houses.
Yeah,
well, they haven't overbuilt necessarily, but it's going to take a little bit more time, and you got to find the right buyer, and there's patience that's required. And so again, managing expectations. If we talk about that before we put your house on the market, 45 days later when you're looking at me saying, hey, why? You don't look at me and say that because you understand, because we talked about it and I explained it to you and I educated you, and that's our job. Our job is to educate and protect. We're going to educate our clients on what their rights are, the process, how it works, and we're going to protect them from everything that can. I mean, we've all been in situations in this business where crazy things happen with inspections and with this, and if the contract's written the wrong way, you don't have an out.
Right.
Our job is to do that: educate, protect. And so we are absolutely necessary, but just maybe not so much in the finding process, because that's been made a lot easier by technology. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are y'all I agree.
I totally agree.
We all agree.
I totally
Everybody
agree.
raised their hand. All right. Hey, I hate to tell you this, but we're out of time. That's 30 minutes.
Wow.
Hope you had a good time listening. We always invite your participation in the show. We're going to be here every Friday, weather, time, and people permitting, around 9 a.m. So if you have comments or questions, you can always drop them in the replay of this video or email us. Don't forget, our website is revolved.com. Zach, what do you got going on? You want to plug anything?
I just want to thank
We're
Elliot.
going to give away the t-shirt.
Yeah, what we'll do is
figure that.
we'll
And we can't
make
give
an
it to Amber,
announcement.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I can, but I can give another one away too. No, I just again want to thank Elliot Farmer at Bryant Bank for coming out this morning, bringing breakfast. Great guy. So that's all. I mean,
Chelsea, what you got working? Hammer and Sales is Chelsea's bread and butter. Tell us about Hammer and Sales.
Hammer and Sales, we have a coming soon in South Huntsville. We're real close to being done with it. It might as well be a brand new house. Price range is going to be about $265, but it's 4 beds, 2.5 baths, bonus room with closet, so it could technically be a 5-bedroom. Weatherly, Mountain Gap, Grissom school zones. So stay tuned within the next
A Hammer and Sales
7
flip.
to 10 days.
A Hammer and Sales flip literally is an HGTV house.
literally
is.
And if you want to know what that looks like, you can find it on the HGTV app.
On the
So
streaming app,
and
yeah.
it'll show you the quality of their work, and obviously they've got a portfolio they can show you. But
You also had some good news about becoming a cabinet distributor. this
Yes, Hammer and Sales is now a cabinet distributor. So if you're a flipper, if you are a homeowner, if you need cabinets for any reason, come to us. And we've just ordered our cabinets for the showroom here. And so we'll have all color options. There are 11 different colors. 3 are painted, 3 are glazed. There are several wood ones. Yeah, we'll have them all here for you to put your hands on and see how they work, and it's going to be great.
What you're doing here downstairs, you're building out your design center where your clients can come and look at cabinets and countertops and flooring and the whole 9 yards.
Yep, one-stop shop.
Awesome. Well, hey, that's going to do it. If we can do anything for you when it comes to real estate, buying, selling, remodeling, flipping, building, we are your guys and gal at Revolved Realty. Check us out at revolved.com. Leave your comments below. We hope to see you here next week. All right, say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.